Traditional for Mighty Mike football. Every play's been on the ground. The big play right there for the Bulldogs, we talked about it while we were off there, was they ran a little reverse for about 20 yards, caught the flow coming this way, took the ball back the other way, and Pratt, he did most of the work on that touchdown drive. And as you talked about, we're now in the second quarter. Time flies in Mighty Mike football, so the Bulldogs need to answer real quickly.
With Mighty Mike football, they do start from the 40-yard line. TYAA, with their second possession, they were not able to score in the opening quarter. So we're going to see what they do. Do keep in mind that with first graders, it is mainly run-based, and it looks like they were getting ready to start a play, and it got stopped. Penalty is going to be false start against TYAA. That is going to push them back to the 30-yard line. Not a good way to start a drive where you need to tie it up, Don.
Yeah, one of the big guys moved up front, and then they had a little trouble with the snap there. So it'll be first down and 15. This is our first chance to look at the Lincoln Christian Bulldog defense. They kept the ball the entire first quarter while they were on offense.
Dominant first quarter effort where they were just able to milk the clock out, and TYAA does have an opportunity to try to score here. They are going to have to get on in a hurry. Referees helping the youngsters on the line, trying to set up. Well, actually, that's the coaching staff. Excuse me. And then here we go with a run. And it looks like he's able to get to the 25-yard line before he goes out of bounds.
Colin McMillan played that well. He strung it out to the outside and then used the boundary to help him and actually pushed him out of bounds. So it's going to bring up a second down. Only a gain there, probably, well, it looks like no gain at all.
Yeah, it looks like a gain of one possibly. Amaje ties with the run for TYAA. Battle of the Bulldogs here, and then you have Lincoln Christian in their maroon and black, TYAA in their red and white. So here we go with another play here for TYAA, again looking to try to get some points on the board after. Now we do have a penalty here, and we're waiting to see what the official call is, and it's another false start against TYAA, and down there just shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, you know, that's the problem with first-grade football is their age. I mean, bless their hearts.
They are learning the game, and, you know, it's in championship games like this, whenever you do have repetitive penalties, you know, it can definitely take them a long way in their football career of learning the mistakes early and what not to do.
Well, there's got to be some nerves involved, too, because, I mean, as you just mentioned, this is the championship of the INFC first-grade division. Coming up right after this ball game, we'll step up a class and do the second-grade Mighty Mites, and you'll be surprised. It'll be a little bit more sophisticated on offense with the second-graders. But the Bulldogs have something you can't really coach. They've got plenty of speed.
And with the run here, trying to get out of bounds. The out of bounds is a little bit shorter than what it would normally be, obviously because they're first graders. It is a full 100-yard field. But he was able to get maybe a yard or two of Amaje ties there with the carry.
And then Crew Pratt, he was the bell cow on offense, and so far he's stepped up equally as well on defense. He went all the way across the field to make the tackle on the far side.
Playing both sides of the field, critical reverse plays on that initial drive for Lincoln Christian, and he was able to break off multiple runs of 20 yards there on that first drive in the opening quarter.
Bulldogs will look at third down at about 14.
Yeah, they will definitely have to find a way to get into the end zone. This one kind of fumbles a snap there, and it looks like there is another penalty and false start again on TYAA, and they are going to have to figure out a way to get some offense going here unless Lincoln Christian is going to get the football back.
Well, one of the neat things you'll see here coming up after this play possibly is the punt situation. You don't actually punt in Mighty Mites. They'll simply walk the punt off. And I would look for the Bulldogs to use that if they don't pick up the first down here on third down.
Yeah, it would be a wise decision to be able to do the walk-off punt, especially if it's about a field position the way that this is shaping up to be here early. Ball is at the 28, gives it to his running back, and he is looking to escape defenders and gets down to about the 30 but cannot stay in bounds. Looks like that walk-off punt will be coming up. It was ran by number 4 for TYAA, Josiah Smith.
And on the tackle for the Lincoln Christian Bulldogs, Rock Thrasher. What a name for a defensive player, Thrasher.
Rock Thrasher. So if he's thrashing rocks, he can throw around players, right?
The Rock. Finally came back to Lincoln Christian.
There you go. They have to smack him down.
Well, and we talked about they might walk the punt up, and the Bulldog coaches say, we're going to go for this. Even though it's 4th down and about 16, they're going to roll the dice.
2:58 remaining in the first half, and they figure, hey, we got to do whatever we can. We're on the road. Why not? The run here, stays on his feet, able to break tackles, and is running across the field, past the 45, past the 50, and he's on his way, all the way down. We might get a TYAA touchdown, and he's tackled at the 5-yard line. Unbelievable run by Amaje Ties.
Well, apparently the Bulldog coaches knew a little bit more about their team than I did. I thought that was very questionable not to punt it, and he said, watch this. And Ties almost took it to the house.
It looked like he snaked around, kind of like, you remember when Seneca Wallace was at Iowa State, and then he had to move around, and he ran like 75 yards for a 10-yard play. That's almost what that looked like. Once he broke in the open field at the 45-yard line, he almost took it to the house.
And Crew Pratt heads up and give him a pat on the back. He chased him down, didn't give up on the play, and saved 6.
Hey, could be a touchdown-saving tackle. Might have him with a first-half lead here. And we have it trying to determine whether or not he got into the end zone.
Kenneth Whited put it in the end zone for the Bulldogs, and we're tied up at 6.
Critical conversion play coming up here, and we got 1:46 remaining. And once we get past this conversion play, we'll take a quick timeout. Once again, want to apologize for the late start here in the first grade Mighty Mites Championship. Mike Stewart with Don Rice here at Willie George Field at Dennis Byrd Stadium, home of the Lincoln Christian Bulldogs. Critical 2-point conversion here. TYAA could take the lead when it looks like they were dead to rights just 2 plays ago.
Yeah, we were critical of their offensive line for not being able to hold water, and then one play, and they tied it up.
And there's a fumble, and unable to convert there. Amaje Ties with the major play to keep TYAA alive. We're going to take a quick commercial break. 1:46 remaining. We're deadlocked at 6 here in the second quarter. First grade Mighty Mites Championship here on the Southern Sports Network.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Todd's Coffee Roastery, creating flavors for the most sophisticated palates to the everyday coffee drinker. Contact Todd's Coffee Roastery at toddscoffee.com and use promo code SSN25 to receive a 25% off discount on your order.
The holidays are here, and Dick's Sporting Goods has all the best gifts for everyone on your list. The hottest footwear from Jordan, Nike, and Hoka. And the coolest apparel from all the best brands. Plus, must-have gifts from Yeti, Callaway, and The North Face. When you're running short on time, shop Dicks.com, where 1 hour pickup is always enough.
We are back. We're deadlocked at 6. First grade Mighty Mites Championship here at Lincoln Christian High School in Tulsa. Mike Stewart with Don Rice and Lincoln Christian with the ball. And looks like he almost tackled in the backfield, and he may be making some room. And he gets down to the 45-yard line. Gain of 5 there for Lincoln Christian, looking to try to get the lead back before we go to halftime. Don, what do you make of that response from TYAA? They look like they were dead to rights, and then you have Amaje Ties just exploding up the field. Once he broke past the 45-yard line, he almost didn't get caught.
Well, I talked about it. You just simply can't coach speed, and they've got plenty in the backfield. If they can get into the secondary, we're going to have a foot race to the end zone.
And looks like there was a rugby-like scrum. And you see the player celebrating. That's number 60, Saheem Williams, excited that he was able to make an impact on that tackle. So we're going to have 3rd down and about 4 coming up here from the 46.
With only 33 seconds left in the first half, and we go to halftime, we'll see halftime presentations probably from, I'm not sure if we've got cheerleaders or not.
Yeah, at this level, you don't know if there's going to be any cheerleading or anything like that. But you hear the stomps in the stands from Lincoln Christian trying to get their kids to make something happen. Proud parents here today. There's a penalty flag on the snap. And give props to these kids. It's 34 degrees here in Tulsa right now. So it's not like they're playing in the best elements in the world.
So now we had a penalty right there on the offense. So I don't know if we'll have one untimed down or with the running clock. That might take us to halftime, and both teams are coming off, so I believe it is. That'll take us to halftime. We're knotted at 6.
The score at the break, Lincoln Christian 6, TYAA 6. In the Battle of the Bulldogs first grade Mighty Mites Championships, scores from both number ones, Crew Pratt and Maje Ties. We're going to take a break as well. We will see you back on the other side. This is INFC Championship Football on the Southern Sports Network.
Hey, Dean Blandino here. And guess what? Football season is right around the corner. And to watch the best live broadcasts in high school sports in Northeast Oklahoma, download the Southern Sports Network app. And check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I just did. Give them a like. It's the best broadcast in high school sports, and not just that area, in the country. Check them out.
The holidays are here, and Dick's Sporting Goods has all the best gifts for everyone on your list. The hottest footwear from Jordan, Nike, and Hoka. And the coolest apparel from all the best brands, plus must-have gifts from Yeti, Callaway, and The North Face. When you're running short on time, shop Dicks.com, where 1 hour pickup is always an option. And with our best price guarantee, if you find a lower price, we'll match it. This season, give the gift of sport. Every holiday starts at Dick's.
A tradition of educational excellence, more than a century in the making, continues in Broken Arrow. Here, supportive faculty, in-demand undergraduate and graduate degrees, and affordable tuition make Northeastern State University your transfer destination. Finish what you started.
Feel the warmth deep down in my bones. When I walk through that open door, I know that I am home. I miss him too. You're my home. You're my home. Love brings us here. Together we can do no wrong. Together's where we all belong. You're my home. My home.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Todd's Coffee Roastery, creating flavors for the most sophisticated palates to the everyday coffee drinker. Contact Todd's Coffee Roastery at toddscoffee.com and use promo code SSN25 to receive a 25% off discount on your order.
Bundle up the entire family this season with jackets, hats, gloves, and more from Dick's Sporting Goods. With the latest looks from the best brands like The North Face, Patagonia, Columbia, and more. Boots that score on comfort and style from Sorel and Doc Martens. Cozy accessories for the whole family. When you're running short on time, shop Dicks.com, where 1 hour pickup's always an option. And with our best price guarantee, if you find a lower price, we'll match it. Shop in-store or online. Every holiday starts at Dick's.
At Northeastern State University in Muskogee, we take care of our students so they can take care of others. Choose from a variety of healthcare degrees, including physician assistant studies, nursing, occupational therapy, speech-language pathology, and more. Answer the call at Northeastern State University.
Welcome to the second half of the INFC first grade Mighty Mites Championship game here at Lincoln Christian High School. Mike Stewart with Don Rice on color commentary for the Southern Sports Network. We're at Willie George Field inside Dennis Byrd Stadium, home of the Lincoln Christian Bulldogs. And Don, this has been a battle of the ones between Crew Pratt of Lincoln Christian and the Maje Ties of TYAA.
You know, each team's only had the ball 2 times.
Right.
and we have one touchdown on each team and no extra points. So we talked about each time that they lined up for the extra point, how important they are. If you can convert, it's almost like having a 2-score lead because it's not automatic in Mighty Mites that they're going to put that in the end zone, and the Bulldogs get to start on offense.
Yes, because Lincoln Christian did win the coin toss to start the game, and they opted to eat down the entire first quarter to set up an early second quarter touchdown for Crew Pratt. Now, want to keep an eye out on Majay Ties. It looks like their drive stalled when they had it in the second quarter, but on fourth down, he was able to explode down the field and bring it down to the 5-yard line where a touchdown would be scored one play later.
Key to the Bulldogs in the second half is managing their mental mistakes. They had a lot of unforced errors. It didn't end up costing them because of the athletic ability of their quarterback.
And speaking of the quarterback, he gives it to his running back. Running back is able to run, gets past the line of scrimmage, and he's going down the field.
That was Smith that got loose up the sidelines, finally pushed out of bounds after about an 8-yard gain.
Josiah Smith able to sneak past the Lincoln Christian defense and make the most of his opportunities. And it was a gain of 8. They had this at the 48-yard line where it'd be 2nd down and 2.
You talked earlier in the ballgame about the fact that it's only 33, 34 degrees. I thought it was very interesting that the Bulldog coaches had the guys doing nothing but running little sprints at halftime, probably just to get everybody all warmed up.
Yeah, trying to get the little limbs and the blood flowing and making sure that they are able to not feel cold. And, having on those pads definitely helps. So they give it back to the running back, and he's able to run right up the middle for he's tackled immediately right there at the 45-yard line.
I can't see the number yet, but somebody for the Lincoln Christian Bulldogs just said good morning.
Yeah, he, in the words of the late, great John Madden, he'll fill that one.
And that may have been Mr. Pratt coming up from his secondary position to make the big hit.
Pratt making plays on both sides of the football here, definitely keeping Lincoln Christian in it. And it looks like there was a penalty. It's holding against TYAA. So, looks like they're starting to get a little bit of momentum, and then they end up shooting themselves in the foot.
And that's a big penalty because that puts you all the way back to where now it's 2nd and 10, so you're behind the chains again, and that's where you definitely don't want to be.
And penalties were hurting TYAA early with going off sides. They were able to eventually overcome that to get the game-tying touchdown by Majay Ties. But now they're in a situation where they're going to have to overcome this again on 2nd down and 9. Ties gives the ball to his running back. He delays the handoff, and he starts to sprint, and he's wide open. Going all the way down. It looks like he might be caught. And he's brought down at the 3-yard line. A major run there for TYAA, looking like they might be able to take the lead here, Don.
Josiah Smith got loose into the secondary, and one more time he's chased down by Crew Pratt. There's no quitting Mr. Pratt. That's the 2nd time in a row.
That's the 2nd touchdown he stopped.
Right at about the 3-4 yard line again.
Yeah, so major props to Crew Pratt. Definitely getting it done on both sides of the football, but TYAA is an immediate threat with 5 minutes to go here in this third quarter to break it into the end zone. Coaches getting their men in position. Quarterback with the ball, and it looks like we have a penalty here. We're going to see what's going on.
False start again on the offense.
So, again, TYAA definitely showing their athleticism, but the discipline, being first graders, just probably isn't there yet.
I don't know if anyone's having more fun right now than Simeon Williams. He's dancing on both sides of the ball. He made one great tackle for the Bulldogs. Now he's leading the charge as the offensive guard.
Saheem Williams with that big tackle there in the second quarter, and he's definitely having fun out there. And really that's what it's all about. But if you can win, hey.
It's more fun.
It's definitely more fun in that case. So quarterback takes a snap, and he looks like he's going to run all the way into the end zone. And we got a touchdown for TYAA in their first lead of the ball game.
Well, you got to give Ty's credit for putting it in the end zone, but he had plenty of blockers out in front. I couldn't see the number, but one of the linemen got out in front of him and threw a nice block right at the goal line.
Ties with his touchdown. It's going to be the first one he has of the afternoon, but he was responsible for most of the yardage on that first scoring drive. 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. It's now 12-6 with the conversion attempt upcoming.
And you note this is the only time that the clock stops in Mighty Mike football is when we do the point after.
So coming up with the conversion, ties with the football. He does have his blockers, and he's able to get into the end zone for 2. So we do have it to where it's 14-6. We're going to take a quick commercial break here, and it is 14 for TYAA, Lincoln Christian 6. We'll be back with the rest of this third quarter here.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Todd's Coffee Roastery, creating flavors for the most sophisticated palates to the everyday coffee drinker. Contact Todd's Coffee Roastery at toddscoffee.com and use promo code SSN25 to receive a 25% off discount on your order.
The holidays are here, and Dick's Sporting Goods has all the best gifts for everyone on your list. The hottest footwear from Jordan, Nike, and Hoka. And the coolest apparel from all the best brands, plus must-have gifts from Yeti, Callaway, and The North Face. When you're running short on time, shop Dicks.com.
So we're back. It was actually 13-6, ruling Mighty Mites football. The conversion runs are 1 point. Lincoln Christian with the ball, and was there a fumble?
Caused by Saheem Williams.
And TYAA has come up with the football. What a critical mistake. The first one of the day for Lincoln Christian.
And that's one of the things that you absolutely have to avoid in Mighty Mike football, because the number of possessions that each team gets due to the fact that it's a running clock makes every one of them so important.
Number 60, Saheem Williams, with the play that could turn the momentum for good in this game. They already have a 7-point lead, and now we're going to be just over 3 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. So another major run here, going to get several yards and gets down near the first down marker. That's number 4, Josiah Smith, making the most of his opportunities again.
You know, one of the things that Josiah Smith seems to be doing, it kind of almost reminds you of Le'Veon Bell that used to be a stud for the Steelers, is he does that slight delay, kind of reads his blocks, and then once he goes, he just goes.
Le'Veon Bell, definitely a master of patience at the NFL level, and you know, it looks like Josiah is definitely taking advantage of that, waiting for the blocks to gather before he can go down. And now there's another penalty on Lincoln Christian, and this is going to be inside the 20-yard line at the 17 done.
The only thing I can figure out, I didn't see the signal, but I think we had a face mask on the defense, obviously.
The PA announcer did call it as a personal foul, so there is a big opportunity here for TYAA to blow this first grade championship game wide open. With the run, ties, going down, stays in bounds, and is able to get at least 7 or 8 yards on the carry.
He'll take it just inside the 10, and it's second down. One more time. Coming up for the Lincoln Christian team, he's everywhere. Crew Pratt helped out on the tackle right there.
Crew Pratt doing everything he can. He was able to score the touchdown for Lincoln Christian, and he is a stud two-way player at the first grade level. Minute 34 and counting here in the third quarter. TYAA looking to make this a two-possession game as they have the ball at the 10, was able to get 7 on that last run by Amaje Ties.
If you're a Lincoln Christian fan, you got to be thinking about causing a turnover right here, because if you go up 2
and
scores,
a run up the middle, and he's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, TYAA. And Ties just took it and said, I'm going to make the most of it and get on the board again.
Not a lot of trickeration on that play, as the quarterback just took the ball, delayed just a second, went to the left side, and put it in the end zone. 6 points for the TYAA Bulldogs.
So 19-6 now, 1:13 remaining in the third. 2 touchdowns by Amaje Ties after number 60, Saheem Williams, was able to get a critical turnover. And this game, the Bulldogs of TYAA might be running away with it. There was a fumble. It was recovered by TYAA. The extra point won't count. 30 seconds here. TYAA up over Lincoln Christian, 19-6. This is the INFC Championship on SSN.
Feel the warmth deep down in brings us here. Together's where we all belong. You're my home. My home.
INFC Mighty Mites Championship. We're at Lincoln Christian High School here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Mike Stewart with Don Rice. And the story of this third quarter is the key turnover by Lincoln Christian, recovered by number 60, Saheem Williams, and 2 touchdown runs by quarterback number 1, Amaje Ties.
Very important, though. The point after on the last touchdown, we had a fumble in the backfield. The point after was no good, so that keeps Lincoln Christian in the game. They scored 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points, and they've got the win.
It is a 13-point deficit, but Lincoln Christian's defense was not having any of the run there as there was a loss of 3.
Well, and Saheem Williams, one more time, got into the backfield and helped with the tackle.
He's been everywhere today. Critical with the turnover, able to place himself in position to find the man with the ball and try to shut him down as soon as possible.
That's going to do it for quarter number 3 as we will watch the last 10 seconds run off the clock. The Lincoln Christian coaches says, hey, we need to talk about this a bit because I got to find a way to score 2 times in one quarter.
8 minutes to go, and we are in fourth quarter time. The score from Lincoln Christian High School, TYAA 19, Lincoln Christian 6. Can the Bulldogs of Lincoln Christian find 13 points in the final 8 minutes? We'll find out on the other side of this break.
This broadcast of the Southern Sports Network is brought to you by Native Ink, providing custom products from athletic apparel, embroidery, and merchandising. Contact Native Ink at nativeinkpromos.com or at 918-693-1806.
Bundle up the entire family this season with jackets, hats, gloves, and more from Dick's Sporting Goods.
So, TYAA en route to winning the first grade Mighty Mites Championship. They are also en route for our next game, Don, to win a championship as they are set to play Sequoia. And we have Lincoln Christian with the ball here. They're going to be in hurry-up mode for the rest of today's game. The ball is snapped. They begin to run and just nowhere to go as the TYAA defense is not having any of it.
Zion Love, number 11, he came up and put the helmet on him. He'll celebrate a little bit right there with Mr. Williams. And also in on the last tackle, number 55, Martin, got a helmet on the ball carrier as well.
Number 55, Keandre Martin, and number 11, Zebion Love, as they were able to team up and get that tackle. And it looks like it is going to be third down in about 17.
Kind of wonder if you'll see that reverse again. That's been one of the most successful plays that Lincoln Christian, and they're kind of taking advantage of the fact that the Bulldogs do flow to the ball so well and they come back across the grain. We'll see if it comes out as a reverse right here.
Clock ticking down inside 7 minutes here, and we have a penalty flag that's going to go up as a result. And this is going to be offsides against TYAA. Lincoln Christian getting some much-needed yardage as the time's running out. Go ahead.
Well, that's an important point. Yeah, they get 5 free yards, but the clock runs because there are, until you get inside of 2 minutes, we don't stop the clock for anything in Mighty Mites except an injury and a touchdown.
Ball at the 38-yard line, and do keep in mind it is a 100-yard field in Mighty Mites, so they're going to have to traverse the length of these looking like 62 yards here to score on this drive, and the defense will have to find a way to get the ball back. Waiting for the snap. Has the ball. They're able to do the reverse, and we may have some yardage here. Immediately tackled, a big tackle there. Looks like it was by number 4 for TYAA, Josiah Smith.
Well, the Bulldogs did indeed come with their reverse. But as Mike talked about, Josiah Smith came all the way across the field to save 6 points. He was the last one between the end zone and the ball carrier.
Critical play here. The game could be on the line right now, even though it's only midway through the fourth quarter. We're looking at a 4th down and 6. Now, Lincoln Christian has to convert this or the game is almost certainly over.
Just not enough possessions will be left because they're going to turn the ball back over to the TYAA Bulldogs in good field position. And with the clock running, we saw in the first quarter that the Lincoln Christian team was able to burn the entire first quarter on offense.
Game could potentially be on the line here. Lincoln Christian has to convert this fourth down right now. Ball is snapped. Able to run with it. But the tackle falls well short of the first down marker. TYAA can get in celebration mode as they look to clinch this first grade Mighty Mites championship.
So if the TYAA coach is smart, he'll be in absolutely no hurry right here. And one of the things that you can always count on is when you get close to the too much time penalty, the official in the backfield will start giving you a countdown, so he's probably not going to snap the ball until he sees the arm of the official move.
4.5 minutes here remaining in the fourth quarter. TYAA with a big lead by a score of 19-6. Once again, this is the first grade Mighty Mites championship. Mike Stewart here with Don Rice. And we have the ball snapped. It was fumbled. Lincoln Christian wasn't able to get on that in time, but given that they already have a 13-point lead, Don, I think they don't care about the fumble at this point. They just want to maintain possession.
Well, that was Kenneth White that put the ball on the ground, but heads up for him as he stopped, didn't try to pick it up, just got on the football, as you said, to maintain possession.
White, it is number 3 for TYAA. So basically they just want to eat as much clock as possible. Now inside 3:45 until they can celebrate this first grade Mighty Mites championship with a 13-point lead at 19-6. Takes the snap. Defensive lineman got knocked down and escapes one tackle, but there's too many Lincoln Christian Bulldogs there to be able to have him advance too far. The home crowd appreciates it, but they may be going home a little disappointed here as TYAA is able to tick this down inside 3:15 remaining in the fourth quarter.
That was a nice play right there by Navy Schwaggart as he was the initial defender to put a helmet on him, fell down, and then wrapped up his legs and basically got credited with a solo tackle there.
3rd down and 11 here. Clock ticking down inside 3 minutes now at the 2:55 mark. And again, they just want to hang on to the ball as much as possible, given that they got a 13-point lead. Ball being ran. Big tackle there by Lincoln Christian. Want to see who's coming out there from the bottom of the pile. And that looked like it was number 99 for Lincoln Christian. That is going to be Laker Monsey.
That's one of the bigger hits we've seen all afternoon.
Right. So 4th down here, and they're going to be content to just hang on with the ball. The clock's already down inside 2.5 minutes. 4th and 11, they will have to get to the 38-yard line to be able to maintain first down.
Now, if they don't pick up the first down right here, if I'm the Lincoln Christian coaches, I'm going to use one of my timeouts.
It would definitely make sense to use a timeout here because you were running out of time with just around 2:05 left. Ball was fumbled, hangs on to it. Ties escapes one tackle, escapes another one. Still running and not able to get the first down, tackle that around the 39-yard line.
One more time, great pursuit from the Lincoln Christian defense. And, in fact, the Lincoln Christian coaching staff has elected to use one of their timeouts. So with 1:51 left in the fourth quarter, Lincoln Christian will come back with the football after the timeout.
So down 13, and we'll keep it here, folks, because there's not much time left in the game. And so as we are getting ready to see Lincoln Christian come out of the huddle here, coach is trying to come up with a play that can ignite a spark for the home team Bulldogs. Takes the snap. On the run. Able to get past almost all of the entire TYAA defense. Stopped just short of escaping at the 49-yard line.
I believe that was McMullen on that carry as Pratt kind of was used as a decoy as he went out of the backfield first. 2nd down short.
Pratt, the player of the game for Lincoln Christian, easily. Definitely trying to make the most of his opportunities to try to keep them in this contest. Just don't know if he has enough time, Don. We're down to a minute 15.
That's the drawback to the running clock. As we talked about in the first half, there's just not that many possessions.
First down, Lincoln Christian. They get in TYAA territory. So ball is going to be at the 46-yard line, but we are going to tick down. Ball is stopped with 1:08 remaining. Inside 2 minutes, the ball does stop. So they do have that going for them, but they're going to have to find a way to get the ball back. And TYA's defense is content with just doing the bend, not break type of defending. Although there may have been a jump offside, there's a throw attempt, but it goes incomplete. One of the rare throws that you'll see in Mighty Mites, but when you're down 13 and you only have about 51 seconds remaining, you try to pull out the kitchen sink.
We got to do something, and one of the good things for Lincoln Christian is now that we're inside of 1 minute, we do play regulation football, so the clock stops on an incomplete pass. That gives them plenty of time to get back in the huddle and call their next play.
Coming up with 2nd down and 10, ball going to be at the 46-yard line. And you got to imagine that if you're Crew Pratt, you want the ball in your hand right now. So they go with a reverse, and they're going to get some yardage on this. And he's going to break free. And the home crowd is going nuts. Got one man to beat, and it looks like he's going to get tackled at the 4-yard line. Lincoln Christian trying to make this a ball game, folks, and they're doing the best that they can. Got a timeout on the field, and we'll take one with them. 30 seconds, we'll be back on SSN.
Feel the warmth deep down in my bones. I know that I am prone.
I miss him too.
Love brings us.
Back from that break, and it looked like the big run has been negated by a penalty. A holding call is going to put this football at the 36-yard line, and that's got to be disappointing, Don.
It does. But the one positive that comes out of it, they did pick up enough for the first down, so with 40 seconds left, we'll roll the dice one more time and see if we can get Pratt loose again.
Pratt, the player of the game for Lincoln Christian, doing everything he can to try to make this a ball game as we await the snap for the hometown Bulldogs, and the fans got excited on that last play. Running right up the middle and is able to escape tackles. Got one man to beat and is brought down at the 20-yard line. And, man, you know, when the game's on the line, you want him to have the ball. He just tends to go for it.
Well, that's the second play in a row, though. Give credit to Josiah Smith as he's made the saving tackle. He was the one that chased Pratt down at the 3. The holding penalty negated that, and he saved a touchdown there. So he may end up being the star of the game for the TYAA Bulldogs on defense.
Yeah, Josiah Smith with key stops here. We have a timeout, but we're going to keep it here. 33 seconds left. And, again, TYAA looks like that, barring a miracle, which, you know, not saying that it can't happen, is just very unlikely. TYAA is up with a score of 19-6, and the player of the game for them has been number 1, Amajay Ties, the quarterback with 2 TD runs already in the second half, and was able to have a critical 70 or 80-yard run there in the second quarter, which led to a touchdown to have them tie it up.
And he had the long run in the first half, too. And remember, it was 4th down and forever when he got loose.
So ball at the 20, and we're going to see what happens here with Lincoln Christian. 33 seconds remaining here in regulation. Takes the snap, was able to give it to his teammate in the backfield, tackled violently by number 60, Saheem Williams. And you wonder, he pulled the jersey, I don't know if it was a horse collar or what it looked like.
I think he was down low enough that he didn't have anything to do with the shoulder pads. So we're going to give him that one. I was just kind of disappointed I didn't get to see his dance that time.
Yeah, because he's been dancing all afternoon, definitely having fun. He'll dance here in about 10 seconds. Final offensive play likely for Lincoln Christian. They're going to try to close the gap here. And they may have an opportunity to do so, but he is tackled and the game is over. Your TYAA Bulldogs are the 2022 first grade INFC Mighty Mites champions. And we're going to watch as the celebration begins here for TYAA. And we'll go ahead, and what we always like to do is read off the coaches and players of both teams. We'll start with Lincoln Christian. Association President Zach Fullingham. Lead contact, Jerry Rickey. Head coach, Justin Monsey. Assistant coach, Mark McCullen. Kyle Sisper, Keith Reamer, David Hall, and Rob Smith. Players for Lincoln Christian. Obviously MVP, number 1, Crew Pratt. Colin McMullen. Number 3. Number 4 is Navy Swaggart. Number 5 is Levi Hall. Number 6 is Rock Thrasher. Number 10 is Jace Beisel. Number 12 is Crosby Smith. Number 13 is Gabriel Summerlin. Number 15 is Beckham Smith. Number 20, Camden Sisper. Number 24, Skylar Tilley. Number 27, Isaac Zweifel. Number 45, Holden Reamer. And number 99, Laker Monsey. And for the championship team of TYAA, Association President Lyndon Goff, lead contact Curtis Williams, head coach, Coach Lewis, and assistant coaches, Coach Littlejohn and Coach Walters. Roster of players, MVP of the championship game, number 1, quarterback Amaje Ties. Number 3, Kenneth Whited. Number 4, Josiah Smith. Number 5, Giovanni Lewis. Number 10, Hakeem Isom. Number 11, Xavion Love. Number 23, Druzy Wright. Number 30, Jordan Ledbetter. Number 51, Josiah Harrison. Number 55, Keandre Martin. And number 60, Saheem Williams. As we are getting ready to have TYAA get their championship trophy done, what do you make of the game today?
Speed. Both teams had it. There was only one turnover, which I was very much impressed with. With Berks Graders, we only had one fumble that cost anybody a possession. And unfortunately for Lincoln Christian, that might have been the play that kind of turned it around for them because it was a one-score game until the fumble.
So we'll keep it here as we know everybody's going to get their medals and trophies. Just waiting for them to set that up. You'll see the silver ball there on the field there at around the 48-yard line of Lincoln Christian, where they will have this championship celebration.
And halftime fun, as always, at the INFC Championships is put on by Dick's Sporting Goods. We always like to say thank you to Dick's. Each year they step up and help make INFC football possible and sports possible in the local area that we broadcast from.
Special thanks to Dick's Sporting Goods. I know they have a Dick's Sporting Goods warehouse sale store in Oklahoma City where you can get shoes for very cheap. I've gotten a few of them myself, so it's definitely, if you're in the OKC Metro and you wanted to go get shoes for cheap, you can always Google like Dick's warehouse sale. It's always a good place to go.
Now, I know that the coaches get the big gold ball, and it's not well, what he's trying to say, if I'm not mistaken, the kids may be getting either medals or rings.
I know they got medals the last couple of years when we were set up in Glenpool, so not sure if they switched it to rings, if they already got them sized for rings or how that works, but yeah, definitely a medal ceremony and then the ball afterward.
We got a little break in the action. That'll give us a chance to talk a little bit about what's coming up next. And what's coming up next is another TYAA Bulldog shootout. They'll be taking on the Sequoia Eagles. That's your second grade Mighty Mike game. And I think if the people that are watching will see that the kids get just a little bit bigger.
Right. And we're going to have that coming up next. So we're going to sign off for now. And then this is going to be the final score. Lincoln Christian falls to TYAA. TYAA win the championship by a score of 19-6.